Hello and welcome to Tantrum House Studio Awesome. I'm Katie, and in this review video, I'm going to be talking about Deliverance by Lowen Games. Deliverance is a 1 to 4 player co-op dungeon crawl game. In this game, players are going to be taking on angels, and they're going to be fighting demonic forces that are seeking to enslave and to destroy the human realm. In the game, each player will choose one of the powerful angels to battle the demonic forces that are prowling on the earth. The angels include a few that are named in the Bible, along with a few where artistic license has been exercised. The battlegrounds are set up with modular board tiles, and the campaign guide gives all of the details on objectives. Objectives might be destroying all demons, surviving a certain number of rounds, killing specific demons, or escorting people to safe areas. Entering a battle with demons can be quite dangerous. Players are going to choose one angel to activate first, and they will use all of their activation tokens. After that, one type of demon will activate, and that means every type of demon on the board that matches that will activate. So you have to be careful, because if you run right into battle, you might find yourself overwhelmed with even just a small enemy. Play continues alternating between a single angel and then each demon type. After the battles, the angels gain experience that can be used to gain talents that give powerful new abilities, or it could augment an already existing ability. Heavenly treasures can also be purchased and then stay with your angel as you advance in the campaign. In the solo player mode, you will choose a single angel, and then you'll also gain the help of an intercessor angel, which adds some extra things that you can do as a solo player. Just to help as an aid. It's not actually a physical presence on the battlefield, but it does help augment you in some ways as you're trying to fight off the demons. Another thing is that in the solo mode, there is a really easy way to scale, which is talked about in the campaign book. Very simple to scale to a solo player game. Besides that, there's not actually that much of a difference between multiplayer and solo mode. Just really the difference mostly between adding that intercessor angel and playing with a few less demons on the board. There's not even an entire page in the rule book dedicated to solo mode. That's how integrated it is into the regular game. So here are just a few of my observations about this dungeon crawl game to help you figure out if this is something that you would be interested in purchasing or playing in the future. In a dungeon crawl game, one of the first things I like to know is how is battle done. There are many different ways that battles can be done in the whole gaming universe, and I find some more appealing than others. This is a type of game where you're going to choose an action, and based on the amount of hits that you have inside of that action, you'll get a specific amount of movement, a specific amount of hits or damage you're allowed to do, is how much damage you will do. There is no rolling or adding cards to a battle or anything like that. There are some shields that could absorb some of the damage, but in general, this is very specific. So you're not going in unsure of whether you're going to be able to do the damage or not. There's not a lot of chance in the damage dealing part of this. So that is one of the things to keep in mind as you're looking at this as a game. Another thing that I also like to think about in dungeon crawls is how do the adversaries activate. And in this one, the demons get an activation every other turn with the angels, and they actually roll a die. And then based on their die roll, they have a list of actions that they take. So their movement is a little more random. So it doesn't feel as programmed. Maybe some games have these monsters always do this thing. This one, they may do any list of things. They may, they roll a 6-sided die, and so I think there's like maybe 3 or 4 options that most of the demons will do. And so their movements can be unpredictable. So as you go in battle, I do like that you're not quite sure what those bad guys are going to be doing. So you have to be a little bit careful as you're going in. Another thing with a campaign dungeon crawler is how the upgrades work. In this one, it is based off of the experience points that you get for the demons that you face and are able to kill. You get more experience for the bigger demons that you kill. You get more experience points if you kill more demons. So there are times when more demons might come out on the board. Some of the objectives for the campaign don't require you to kill all the demons, but if you do, of course, you're going to be getting more experience points. Those experience points go into upgrading your angels. You've got talents that are very specific to the type of angel. So your angel that you've chosen will have its own deck of talents. And as you unlock those talents, you're able to spend your experience points, unlock those talents, and get some real neat upgrades to what your angel can do, which is super needed as you get further into the campaign. Like you obviously can't go in as like a level 1 angel and hope to be defeating, like Satan at the end. You really have to be prepared as you go into the next battle. There's also a little bit of like managing your team. There's some angels that are very support heavy angels. Like they do a lot of healing and they do a lot of assisting in others play and augmenting their abilities. So if you go in with a team, just like any other group team fight, you really need to have some sort of balance there to make everything work for your group. And I can't really finish out a review of Deliverance without mentioning the art. Now, the art here is just beautiful. A lot of people might think of angels as these blonde, long-haired, beautiful women. In this version, there is a beautiful blonde woman as an angel, but there's also plenty of men. They're multicultural. It's really interesting to see how the art was taken on this. They all look strong and very capable, which is great and exciting. They have chosen their source material to really pull in a lot of artistic license on the way the art is worked in here. They've pulled in a lot of references and just a lot to really read. There's a bunch of like not biography, but like flavor text and how they came up with and worked through how they were going to make each of these angels work. And it's really interesting to read all of that. There are standees that come with this game. We also have a version that comes with miniatures. The miniatures are all like pre-painted, but they look a lot like statues, like stone statues. So you could definitely like paint those up yourself if you want, or you can leave them looking like the stone statues. But in general, the art and everything about it, the graphic design, very fun. The iconography works really well and it's easy to understand. So all in all, Deliverance is a fun dungeon crawler. I have friends who are so excited to come back and play more of the campaign with me. They're super excited that it's pulling in Christian lore, and they're very interested in continuing that campaign. For me, I really liked some of the, I think probably my favorite part is that the bad guys have their own talents and upgrades that you have to watch out for, because that happens. And there's like bosses that have their own special rules that will create the game so that as the campaigns go on, it's not just a constant grind. You are actually trying different goals, you're facing different adversaries, and each campaign battle kind of has a different feel, so that each time you do it, it feels kind of fresh and feels kind of new. As you add things to your character, bad guys are adding things to their characters, rules are being tweaked, and there is, no spoilers, there is a box in there that has extra goodies that gets unlocked in the middle of the campaign. So if this all sounds interesting to you, please check out Deliverance by Lowen Games.